Zok the Mishnah Daf. So Yerushalmi Sotah Daf Mem Hey with Alpha on the bottom of Daf Mem Dalma Beis Halacha Beis Zok the Mishnah Nimtza Tam V'Gal. Oitala Elon if you find the person buried under a pile of stones. Oitala Elon hanging on a tree. Oitaf Opnei Amayim or floating in the water. Lo Hey Oifin. They didn't do that. Glaruf Shneim says Ba'adama V'Loitam Begal. Adaman Ba'adama and Loitam Begal, not buried under a pile of rocks. Noifel. Loitala Elon not hanging on a tree. Beside of Loitaf Opnei Amayim not floating on the water. Nimtza Samach Safar. Leish yesh goyim, or leish ein bo bezdin, even if he's found on the border, which is some wild things are going on, or leish yesh goyim, the goyim live there, leish ein bo bezdin, or there's no bezdin, lo yoy moeded in the measure, elam yesh bezdin. It only measured to a city that had a bezdin. Dim semachuv min shtei ayar, so he was found exactly equidistant between two cities. Shtem v'yishtei eglois, the Rebbe Eliezer says, both of them bring two eglois, v'chamer irdachas mevia egla rufa, v'ein shtei ayaris mevia shtei Agals. As a rule, only one city brings an egla roof, and not two. Ben Yerushalmi egla roof, Yerushalmi does not bring an egla roof. We'll see that's because it was known as Chakol Shvatim. So the Gemara told Rebbe Eliezer, "Amen." If he was found strangled hanging on a tree, lo yoifin no Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda in tzarich loim chanuk v'talui ilon. Right, it doesn't have to say both chanuk and talui because either one they won't do an arifa. I mean, I feel a mushlach even if he's on the ground. Uh, but he was strangled. He has to be like stabbed. He was, let's say, stabbed, but he's hanging a tree. Okay. Tan Rabbi Yossi things we actually got up to. Tan Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Bon, B'Shem Rabbi Yochanan Nimtza Oimed Al Mitasoi Vasakin Tkubalibo. So he's found on a bed, and he has a knife stuck in his heart. Ain Oifin again because he's supposed to be on the ground. Tan Rabbi Shimon Yochi. How you orphan? No, they did do an arifa. The Adod, Rav Shimon Yochi, actually, the Gemara says, Mini lein da'achin hachin. The Amar Rabbi Yochanan kol lein Rav Shimon Yochi, Mini lein da'achin hachin, Yichid ninon v'lo yisamchen lein. Any sheet of Rav Shimon Yochi that's unattributed, knows you don't know who said it in the name of Shimon Yochi, is not something that we can rely on, and therefore, when we said over here, Rav Shimon Yochi said, How you orphan? It's not reliable. Nimtza ba'alil le'iyir. Let's say it's found clearly next to the city. Hayu moided or goes over here. Moided in Kedelakaim by mitzvahs isuk medida. There's a mitzvah to medida anyway, even if he's found clearly next to a city. Rav Nachazatamon, he went to Bavel. Rav went to Bavel. Amar, I know who Benazi da'acha. I'm like Benazi. We find many times in Bavli. Benazi b'shuk etferia. He says, I'm the Benazi of Bavel. Also Chatzav, and so it's dangerous to say that. So also Chatzav, one elder person came to him. Sholei, he asked him, Shnei Rugen Zel Gavzeh. What if you have two bodies, one on top of the other? Do you do a reef or not? Savarav, Savarav Shein Orphan. We'll read this in a question because that's the only way this makes sense. So he asked him, the Rav, do you hold that they do the Arifa? Amalei Ein Orphan. So Rav said to him, they don't do Arifa. Amalei Lama, why not? Amalei, first of all, Tachtim Shum Tamim. The bottom body is buried on top of the upper one. Elyon Shum Tzaf, and the Elyon, the upper body, is floating on the bottom body. Katzal Glacha, when the old man got to Eretz Yisrael, also came to Rebbe, and he comes to Rebbe and he told him over the story. Amalei, yeah, Yisam Lacha. Rav was correct. Ki Yimatzeh loy ki yimtza'u. It says in the pasuk ki Yimatzeh, singular loy ki yimtza'u. Loy mistabra. So now the Gemara is going back on the Mishnah over here. What we said in the Mishnah, besada, it says besada v'loitzof al pnei hamayim. So Gemara actually changes that. This is like this. It's Ella knows it's read like Ella. Ba'adama and loitzaf al pnei hamayim. Besada and loitamim begalos. Most over here is that besada should be more exposed as opposed to where we said in the Mishnah ba'adama v'loitamim begalos. Says no, besada is a better. Besada is like the open field. Right. But Tani the base Rebbe came. This is Taka Rebbe learned the Mishnah. Right, die Gemara Michvah Shitz in the Rabban, you have a steering Rabban, and Tamni Nun Amrun Prat L'Tamon. And V'koi in an Amru Rabbis is Hatamon. By Shikha, Shikha the Marbetamon. And over here, we're saying prat l'tamon knows by shikha. Tamon is included. That the tamon of it's included in shikha. And that's to see the. Let's see a second. Tamon satcha begoli prat l'tamon, right? Ktsircha begoli prat l'tamon. Over there, the reason is because you have a double negative over there. Over there, it says satcha begoli. Satcha mashma is it says in the pasuk Yisiktzar Ketzircha Besadecha V'Shechachta Oim Basad V'Loisoshu Lekecha V'Gelis On Hamana Yeh Levanu Yerecha Shem Lekecha V'Chol Masir Decha. Right, so it says over there Kisiktzar. It says Ketzircha, and it says also Sadcha. So over there we say, so we dash like this. Taman over there says Sadcha is means Begali, what's exposed. Prat Tamam. Uktzircha Begali, again Prat Tamam. So Mitach Amit, the Rabbis is a Tamam. So it comes to include a Tamam. So that's why by Shikha, even a Tamam is included in Shikha. Bram Hocha, Ba'adama. Over here, Enechanami, you have also, and I believe this is what the Gemara is coming at, is that you have over here also double ocean. It says Besada and says Ba'adama. You can say the same thing. It says no, because since we use it for two different drushes, right? So it's so over here, Ram Hocha Ba'adama is Loitzafala Pnei and not so it's not coming to teach us saying li, but if it's not a meat achamir. Nimsa samach l'saf. So we said then there's no egla rufa if next to the border. And yomis sakim argo. The Mexican drug cartels killed him. So therefore, it's not negate to a yid. It's kapel amchu Yisrael, not for the Mexican drug cartels. But Yishesh b'goyim and yom goyim argo. And also the reason we don't do it over there by Yishesh b'goyim, not to Arif, is because we say goyim killed him. So if they had a choice of two cities, measure close to a city that actually had a bezdin. Why? So who's making that statement if there's no bezdin there? So therefore, it's be measured to a city with a bezdin. Ma time of the rabbanon, and they hold that if it's found equidistant, there's no arif. Rabbi Lezer said there isn't a arif in the Mishnah, and they say there isn't. It's one city, singular. Ma tam the Rabbi Lezer. The Ksiv says umodedu el he'orim asher sviva secholo. He'orim is mashmatu. Freiti Gemara. Arim miklot mine. What are the arim miklot? What kind of din do they have? Is it that each shevet donated? So in other words, it belongs to a shevet, and therefore it would have it in an arifa, or it was loinis hakol shvatim, so it didn't like Yerushalayim. So now intem machloikas nitnu roof, like we said, if it was given by the shvatim, they would mischalik, and then it was given over to the shvat, then the shvatim gave it over, donated it as an ir miklat. So then they would bring larufa. In temel of dira nitnu and mavias egla rufa. Or if you're going to say it's a base dira, that it's meant for anybody to be, there was never it was never given over to individual shvat, and then they would not bring an egla rufa. Halacha Gimel Zok Telig Mishnah. And from where in the body did they measure? The head, the toes. Rabbi Eliezer mitiburai, from his belly button. Rabbi Kiva mechaytme, from his nose. Rabbi Eliezer meyakom b'im makom shnas a cholol mitzavore, from where he becomes a cholol. And to become a cholol is from the neck. Right, the person is stabbed in the neck, he's finished. Right. Zok the Gemara, and Rabbi Eliezer mitiburai. Why tiburai? Zok the Gemara, makom she'avlad noitzix. That's where the vlad's created. Rabbi Kiva mechaytme. It's mimakim akaras panam, from where you could recognize the face. Ba'as yikedem Rabbi Yehuda b'shem Rav akaras panei mon sabam zechaytim. It says in the pasuk akaras panei mon sabam, recognizing their face, and that's zechaytim. It's referring to the nose. Someone doesn't want to be recognized. Yov siflani al nechiresh. Take a cloth and put it on his nose. And he won't be recognized. Superman didn't do this. Malko, like there was a story the Gemara says that happened to during the times of Skinas Malka, the people who were living in Tzipori, they were hiding having Yavin Sifloni Nechirerion, Veloim is Chakmin. So they would put they'd pull a cloth on their nose and they would recognize it was Saifa at the end. Itma lehain lishan bish. Someone said lashon hara, bat sidon kulhu min biyada, and they were all he chapped all of them in his hands. So you see, covering up the nose is a way to avoid recognition. Rav Lezer ben Yaakov oim mokim shnasa chol mitzavora im ha'taim or Reb Simon Shem Reb Yeshua los es ois chal tzavrei chalulei rishon. So you see tzavrei chalulei rishonim, see tzavrei chalulei, where because we come from his tzavra, from his neck. Dok daily mishnah loch edalit. Nim so roisha b'mokim echad v'guf b'mokim ech. Let's say he's found body's one place, but his head is somewhere else. Malichin roisha etzel aguf. The Reb Lezer says you bring the roish to the body. And we'll see why the Gemara. Kiva ma'aguf etzel roish. No, faket. You bring the body next to the head. Omra blaza likfura nech liku. The machlokes is where to bury him. Right, because it's one of the takonis of Yeshua was that meis mitzvah is kindness mekaymo. So the question is, which part is kindness? We say, according to Rebbe Eliezer, he says that the guf is kind of not that. Shlomo Shem Rabbi Yonasan mapligen kishahoya haroish milamalon va'guf milamatan. Where's the machlokes? Machlokes is the head is higher up and the guf is lower down. Let's say the head was lower down, but guf milamalon, then because it's understood that the head rolled away from the body, rolled downwards from the body. What happens if you have a slope on both sides? You're looking higher up on a mountain, you have a slope on either sides. Do I say that, well, it's the same body, the body was found on this side of the slope, and the head was found on this side of the slope. Oi, maybe harosh hazeh ein leguf, a guf hazeh ein lerosh. Maybe it's from two different people. Hayishava. What happens if it's plain, so straight? Kol mokum shedaka lites guf echadu. If it's enough that we can say that the head traveled not so far from the body, so then we say it's one body. Vim lav, but let's say the head's very far away from the body. Harosh hazeh ein leguf, a guf hazeh. Ein loy rosh. We say it came from two separate. We say it came from two separate people.